the the Cloverfield particle. No, Cloverfield Paradox is that bizarre, weird, goofy, silly, kind of really stupid in a few areas of the film. It's like, huh? Then it's like, oh, okay, but it's still important to the Cloverfield universe, meaning that this, if you're looking for that, definitive reason, this is where, so this is how they came, you got it for the first half an hour at least, at most, or at least 15 minutes to a half an hour at least. That's how they finally get at least the monsters going. It's like, so that's how they came. That's what we saw, sort of. Even at the end of the film, it's like, oh, oh, okay. We'll just we'll just roll with that. Okay, so that's practically the film, basically. A bunch of scientists, at least in Dimension 3, in the third universe of the Cloverfield, at least, uh, resources on Earth is scarce, very scarce. There's you have multiple black holes per day. There's hardly you gotta wait a long ass time to get gas, probably food, and that's going there. Strange enough, for the rest of the film, the other two films in their universe, you never hear that stuff really. You just hear, okay, so there's a blackout somewhere. There's a blackout in New York. New York gets attacked, but before that, everyone's having a normal life. But you never hear about their resources. So that's the flag right there. Their universe has no resources. But yeah, what they're trying to do is the main science group that we have in that film. We can't call it the name, but they are present in this film just a little bit. They're like, okay, so this is the plan. This is the fucking plan. Use solar preservatives, whatever you want to call it. Use the solar basically to get enough energy going. Okay, so that means everything could be happening. After 2 very long years, they have no success. But they give up. They get 3 more chances to get this thing right, and that's it. The first try of the three, it freaking works. So like, yes. Don't celebrate your early fuels. That's what I always keep saying. And then, bam! Oh no, they fucked up. They go back in time. They go like to, is it was it Earth 1, Earth 2? Let's say it's Earth 1 within this dimension, or maybe it's Earth 4. Who knows which dimension they landed in this one? Knowing that they can never get back, even though Earth is still there. It's not their Earth, the one they're familiar with. Meanwhile, in Earth 3, 1, and 2, the monsters have finally come. All of them. Chloe, it could be the same size. Let's say Chloe number 3 showed up and is much bigger, badder, and you don't see him too often. He's obscured by fog, but at the end of the film, you do see the infamous character of Chloe. Cloverfield himself. Looks huge, looks big, still the same shape fucking ever. Holy shit, that looks amazing. Doesn't show it too often, but there it is. I believe it's more people's natural reaction going and saying, "Oh shit, we gotta get out of here." You don't see it, but it's one person reaction that sees this big monster. Sold it for me right there. Going around in 1, 2, they don't show it, but you can pretty put the pieces together. They're all witnessing their own different events, whether it be trapped in a bunker, just not knowing what the heck's going out there in the real world, and a fishy character with a nice dude as well, along with escaping from the monsters world. So we saw those events right now are nearly simultaneously, possibly going off at the same time. So there you go. There you have it. That's your plot, really. Even though the one I described to you doesn't happen, you know what's happening behind the scenes because you watch the previous films. Acting wise goes, no one sticks out. There are some very good choices, but yeah, they do the part again just to get another paycheck. I know they spent about $40 million plus $5 million just to get everything going. I think it's a wise way to put on Netflix going. Directing, cinematography, music, sound editing wise, good. Like I said, it's a solid B film. I think that's what I should call Cloverfield. Cloverfield is a solid, cheesy, stupid, fun, dumb, solid B film in the Cloverfield universe. That's what it is. It has the plot to get everything going, but doesn't really do too much new. doesn't too much new outside the universe while still trying to keep it somewhat fresh. And it was kind of fresh to see the science group perspective of this entire film. It was interesting to see. Seeing Clovey back was kind of interesting, and kind of when you watch this film, you already have going in your own mind of where everything is going throughout these films. You know the events because of the particle, how they try to get resources in Earth 3 because Earth is dying. Basically, they need more resources. The science group go up to in space to test the solar particle out, but at the 2 long years, it's not working. One last try of 3 attempts, at least, it gets going. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It works, but it backfires them. And at that same time, once it backfires, the monsters, the aliens, finally come in Dimension 3, Dimension 1, and Dimension 2. All of them seeing the different events being played out in the background, in our mind at least. You see Dimension 3's Earth still the same catastrophic event, while seeing Clovey obscured by fog by one dude, and eventually later seeing the new revamped Clovey 3.0 being freaking a giant, like up to the clouds giant. That's how big this guy is, at least in this dimension of Cloverfield. He's that intimidating, that menacing. You only see him for a few seconds, but then that's it. Everyone else kind of does a good job. The director does a good job, at least the best you get that he has to his ability. I think the editing team did the best job they could, but man, but like in an hour and 30 minute film, like for sure say 40 minute film, you're going stuff really really fast. Either you're gonna give me my long explanation, which I need to have for this film, or not. But like I say, it's a dumb, stupid, cheesy, fun, solid B film that I like better. Is the best film in the franchise? Not really. Like I say, it's kind of dumb, but not that dumb. It's silly, but not all that kind of silly. It's a fun ride to see how things are going down. But then again, it just takes away when people just aren't reacting naturally or just forced laughs. Or it's like, eh, oh, okay, move on. But I got through it. I wasn't drunk. Maybe it kind of would have helped me better if I was drunk, but I like the film what it is. As continuing the franchise of Cloverfield, it's kind of gonna get people a little nervous for what Overlord or what the true God Particle movie is gonna be about. Or if that got delayed as hell, or they just canceled that one and became this film, which I highly doubt. God Particle is this one, even though yes, the Shepherd Particle is in the name, but this one is a paradox. Basically, the events of three is the of Dimension 3's Earth is the fault of the science group, causing the chain reaction that happens and all the rest of the universe. There is no grade, even though I said it's a solid B film. This solid B film grade is no grade at all. I had a fun time with it because I like a neat, dumb, stupid, fun, cheesy film. If you're into this shit, then good for you. If you're a Cloverfield fan, if you watched it, I'll let you know your comments in the section below, or even just share it with your friends and family if they just want to see this dumb, silly, fun film. But show them the rest of the films too, because those are a better experience. I'm a little nervous for Overlord when it comes out in October, and whatever God Practical Particle comes out. I'll see you guys in the next in my thoughts on this movie.